We're here to talk about meditation today. The effects of meditation have been known for a few thousand years. Research since the 1970s, and even more recent since 2007, have demonstrated that meditation helps to reduce depression, anxiety, and it helps to increase overall longevity and health and wellness by working at the cellular level. So what is meditation? Simply stated, meditation is focusing one's attention. A very simple method is to focus one's attention on one's breath, and that is what I'm going to demonstrate today. Other focal points can be your third eye, working on your intuitive center here, focusing on a candle, if you have a candle out in front, or if you're out in nature, focusing on a tree, focusing on a brook or the river that you're sitting next to. Whatever is going to allow you to focus your attention, be aware of your environment, but not be part of the environment, to be able to bring your senses inward towards yourself. In yoga, meditation is stilling of the mind. Every day we have about 70,000 thoughts that enter our mind, both negative and positive. And the purpose of meditation is to not be attached to those thoughts. We can never eliminate them, but we can not be attached to them. So when you are meditating, you are going to have thoughts going through your mind, but you don't sit on those thoughts. You don't carry those thoughts out into the sentences and the paragraphs that they can become. The thoughts come in, you allow them to come in, you allow them to exit. Okay? So how do we meditate? Well, one way of meditating is we can walk and we can focus on our pace that we're taking and the breaths, and have the breaths even with the pace. And that is our focal point. We can use chants or mantras, which are positive affirmations, positive sentences that are repeated over and over again. Eventually, you want to get to the point where you release those words and focus on the breath. Another thing that you can focus on when you're breathing, you want your breath to be nice and long and drawn out. So let's get started. My favorite position for meditation is a seated position. For me, it's also one of the easiest ways for me to meditate. Other people might find the walking meditation easier for them, or focusing on something external to them. You can sit in an easy pose where your feet are one next to the other, not crossing the ankles, because that tends to block our circulation. Or if you can get into half lotus, this keeps our circulation moving as well. I'm going to bring my hands down and place my thumb and my first finger together. This represents the heart chakra, which starts to open up the heart here. And I'm going to straighten my back, and I'm going to lower my chin slightly in order to get my back nice and straight at the beginning. I close my eyes, and then I will tend to loosen that up then, bringing my chin up while my back is straight and breathing. I'll use nice relaxed belly breaths. And you can start by counting your breath and counting how long it is. For example, we'll breathe on an inhale and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 is the length, and then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, keeping it the same length, both the inhale and the exhale. So go ahead and do that. The counting can tend to draw us inward. However, eventually you want to not be attached to that counting. Let it go. Focus on the inhale and the exhale. Our thoughts can attach to the words inhale and exhale, and that's fine. Eventually as well, you want to let those words and those thoughts go. In meditation, we want to work up to ideally 20 to 30 minutes, at least once, if not twice a day. You might start with 5 minutes, just practicing on your posture. Work your way up to 10 minutes. Set a chime timer if you can. Next 15 minutes, work your way on up to that. There might be some discomfort, especially if you're keeping a nice straight back. And there's a point of getting used to all of that. The more that you meditate, the trick is consistency. The more that you are consistent and the more that you do this, the easier it's going to be to not have any attachment to your thoughts. Eventually, if you can meditate for 30 minutes and you get 5 minutes out of those 30 that are peaceful and the mind is still, then you're doing great. So that is the goal. Up to that point, just do not be attached to the process. Do not be attached to those thoughts that come in your mind. Just release them and let them go. Again, don't turn them into sentences or paragraphs. Just say, okay, I acknowledge these thoughts and back to the breath, or back to whatever that focal point is. What I do throughout the day, I can meditate while I am washing dishes, because my focal point is washing the dishes and breathing and nothing else. Not attaching my attention to anything in my environment and just staying focused on what I'm doing with washing the dishes as best as I can and breathing. Or folding clothes. You can be folding clothes in a rhythm as you breathe as well with it. And that is another great way to meditate. When I walk my dog and he gets in his little pattern after the first few minutes, I can go into my breathing and focus on my breathing and my pace with the dog. And that is meditation as well. So meditation can be incorporated into many different things throughout the day. So you don't have to just sit and meditate, even though that is ideal, and at least get some of that in during the day, but you can meditate throughout the day. And again, that helps to reduce your anxiety. It helps to bring your focus back to yourself and back to what is important for you at that moment.